Guys, hello again. Welcome to another showcase here. I am delighted to have Terry and Rachel Lightfoot here today. How are you both?
We're very great, good, thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
From the wonderful TouchRight software as well. And we were just saying before, not only are you a husband and wife team, but proud Yorkshire business as well.
So we absolutely are. Yeah.
You're going to give me a tough time today. You're going to give me a tough time, aren't you?
We'll do our best.
I don't know if now is the time to say that I'm on the wrong side of the of the Pennines over in Manchester.
Yeah.
So this suddenly gets a little bit more feisty, doesn't it?
It can do. Yeah, we'll keep those arguments for another day.
Yeah, we've only got 45 minutes, so let's keep the white roses stuff to itself. Guys, the title today is Property Reports Made Easy. Work smarter, not harder. That's obviously music to my ears, given where I come from here. But before we go into a bit of detail there, I mean, obviously, your backgrounds, husband and wife team. How did you fall into this essentially?
Well, I suppose we've been landlords for years and years now, and but also historically we've worked in the sort of tech space in this corporate world. When we lived down south, so we had that. I went off and did a bit of traveling, had a sort of work opportunity up here in York, and came up and one dived into that, and we set up a property services business at the time, obviously with the tenant deposit scheme coming into place. So next thing we know, we ended up with a sort of small team of clerks and people running around doing inventories and routine inspections and check-ins, check-outs, all that good stuff for loads of agents in York and Yorkshire area and landlords. So, we're always looking for a solution for our own business, I suppose, at the time. There's some early stages of tech about, but it's a bit sort of clunky and, but when you break down the process of what you actually do and the time spent, what can technology do? Where can you save on paper? How can the efficiencies be? So it was a combination of looking at other things and also thinking, right, perhaps now may be a good time to do what we would like to do. And how, like most businesses, out you sketch your bit of paper on the kitchen worktop, don't you? Yeah. And right, how hard could this be? And
well, don't we call that the business plan years later?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we do, there was a lot more back in sort of 2012. A lot more businesses and things were more subscription based. You sort of knew that would be the model. Apps were a bit more, the app stores were a bit more on the people's eye. So we knew that technology was going to be around obviously with Apple and Android. So and then out your pop. So I think during 2012 we were sort of sold that property services business. We felt we'd done far too many reports and had a sort of small team running ragged around this sort of Yorkshire area. So it was a combination of getting that off the ground while we sort of sold the other business, and then still landlords, I suppose, and receiving sort of services from agents on those properties. It give us a good sort of feel for what was being offered, what wasn't being done. We got to know some of the agents really well in York, at looking at their processes and how what they were doing for reporting. So 2013 along popped out sort of TouchRight, I suppose. We sort of launched at the Arla show, as you do, as a bit of a stake in the ground.
Don't start mentioning actual events, because I get all teary-eyed, because I do love a good conference.
Yeah, I know, missing the events and being do miss that, because you do good time to catch up with your customers face to face, because as you know, with an online business you can just be behind a click, can't you, really? So
they could just be nicknames behind but can't they? But what I love about this, guys, is that this is one of those great companies where you've experienced the problem, the issue, and you've come up with a solution yourself, haven't you? That for me always. There's loads of great businesses out there that start off from, techies envisaging some sort of magical thing in an ivory tower, and usually it takes quite a few years before that to start to match the reality. The thing I love about yours, almost from day one, I'm guessing you would have been solving real issues, won't you?
Mm-hmm. I think, yeah, I suppose, we have definitely walked the walk, and that's helped us, with customers. It helps us with our training. It helps us speak to customers on a day-to-day basis, and obviously help them from a support point of view, but also, giving advice along the way as well. So, yeah, and we do with, customer support being one of our kind of key sort of drivers, really. It's just helped us in that whole sort of support journey, because we can put ourselves in the customer's shoes at the end of the day. So, yeah.
That's great. And so talk us through the main services that you have now at the moment.
Yeah, so we've got the usual sort of dashboard that most people have nowadays, and mobile apps. So our apps work on both the iOS and the Android platform. And with the apps, I think from day one, when we came to market, a lot of software was in this space was concentrating on the inventory, and there's so much detail that goes with a good inventory, and is it right, is it wrong, and the versions of, and so forth. So we came to market initially with a routine inspection, because again, with agents that we're working with, that was their problem point, getting around the amount of admin they were doing. We're doing routine inspections, coming back to the office, trying to find time to type stuff up, uploading photos, resizing, formatting. So, and it's such a valuable report with longer tenancies now. And agents really appreciate a good, landlords really appreciate a good report as well, part of the management fee. So concentrating on that as the initial report, but also just adding that sense of customization. What was around was very well, here's an inspection, just use this. So from day one we wanted to introduce that customization. So whether people had these very deep intensive sort of Excel, Word docs, spreadsheets, all sorts sort of came our way, so we could digitally transform them into sort of templates that they half recognized, because it was what they were familiar with. So that was a journey of producing those routine inspections, which obviously add value to those management fees, and all the good stuff where you can click on any of the photos in the report and enlarge to full size. So that's trying to save on paper, which is key. So to us at the headline, it's all about the admin. What can we help with the admin? How can we save paper, while still pushing out a smart looking report that adds some value to the fees, and then as we've moved the software on, then came all the inventories, check-ins, check-outs, maintenance, Legionella, HHSRS. We've got all sorts of other sectors using the software now, and the build to rent and block reports, inspections, and got councils doing site surveys, asset managers doing assets on commercial properties. So it's a real...
I'm amazed you've got time for me, to be honest with you.
Wow, yeah, we
actually,
yeah. So it's as you've sort of evolved these templates, and some of the templates that we're building for people, I think we don't go a day without doing a template for someone. It just shows that. And then I suppose all the secondary features that come with that, report linking, see what you said last time, none of this going to a filing cabinet and taking it with you, opening the platform, you can share it with your contractors. We appreciate some agents, 1 minute they're outsourcing it, then they bring it in-house, and then they outsource it again, have a bad experience, bring it in-house, and we can share it with your contractor. We appreciate you can't always just give a bit of software to someone to go fill in and produce a good report. The devil's in the detail. It's just a tool in your toolbox, really. So I suppose we're just sort of mindful of that.
And how do you cope? I mean, templating, obviously my old world was CRM software, and I remember just what a horrific challenge templating was. Somebody, can I just have it, a little bit different, and all the rest of it. How do you rise to that challenge? Have you managed to create a very customizable system then that allows that templating to be edited and amended?
Yeah, exactly. So we have a sort of a template builder in the system, essentially. So every account, when anybody sets up on trial, has access to about 35 off-the-shelf templates that we've put together for various different types of reports. So they're available for anybody to use as they are. They're just sort of quick start, schedule an appointment, select that template, and off I go to do my report. All of those reports can also be copied and duplicated, and then either the customer or ourselves can edit that template to, add stuff in, take stuff out, amend and tweak the questions depending on what they need. Or a template can be set up from scratch, which again, either the customer can do or we can do. I mean, one of the key bits of our service is the fact that we do offer that level of detail of helping out with customizing templates, and that's all included in our fee that we charge. So there's no extra cost for building those templates, and they can be edited and tweaked at any point. But yeah, we have that comprehensive builder with lots of different question types in it, text boxes, multiple choice, drop downs, inventory tables, terms and conditions, you name it. We've sort of got it covered, really.
Nice, yes. And you mentioned before you got the app. Does the app, is it fully functional in terms of what can you do everything on the app that you could do on the desktop version, or?
Yeah, you can use, as we did a big update to the app a couple of years ago, and there's more, while the software works offline, and a lot of agents might choose a Wi-Fi only tablet and share that in the office. That's not a problem because it works offline. What we have, is the rise of the smartphone, we call it. I suppose the bigger screens, aren't they? Everyone seems to have one in their bag or in their pocket. So it made sense to rewrite the app for a better user experience on the app, which means obviously you're on a connected device. So then all of a sudden you can have properties and schedule appointments and stuff. So some of the assessors that use it and just use the software for Legionella reports, they barely touch the dashboard in a sense. And we've certainly got some larger clients where they might even have an office admin that just works on the dashboard, and the field-based team, they might be based in London and have blocks in Manchester, Leeds and big cities. So some of the field-based guys don't even know the dashboard exists. They just work off
they just use what they need to. They just use whatever,
and just sync and send and move the report to wherever it needs to be, and then the admin person will wrap it up technically and send it on to the client. So it can be used across that way. I mean, that's then introduced us to, we've got a unique feature in the software, a bit of lone worker protection, again on the sort of customization sort of theme that we've got of the templates. You customize a red and amber alert. So some clients quite like that, very discreetly. Press the button within the app, and whichever one amber, whichever alert you send back, it could simply be I've just left the property, or it could simply be I'm about to start, or the amber or the red one could be the code red. So we appreciate a lot of agents you chat to about that. They might have phone the office and ask for a file from the large red folder. I don't know what happens then, but it's just something comes in. But it makes sense if you've got the device on you. You can have little things like that.
Best of luck with it, guys, and thank you for that offer. We'll obviously share that out with all of our teams.
Thanks very much.
Thanks so much. Cheers.